the day. It's the day everybody waits for. It's the day you wait for, the day I wait for, the day the whole planet waits for. And what day is that?
Thursday.
No. It's
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Quickie with Miss B. Today is Thursday.
Taco Thursday.
All this week, we're talking about would you and then fill in the blank. And if you missed any of the previous episodes, please go back and check those out. And as always, thanks so much for joining us. Okay.
I'm curious what psychotic rabbit hole you crawled down today.
I'm at like a little bit of an animal theme going here.
Yeah, I noticed. You got sharks in the living room, sloths with chlamydia.
And today, here's my question. Would you ride a giraffe?
Wow. That's going to be tough. Number one, I mean, how am I getting on the giraffe? Because in case you haven't seen it, that's an awful long set of legs. I mean, them things, that's a really tall critter.
Do you notice that
Do you realize
strange critters so far?
Do you know on the motorcycles they have those gorilla grip? I mean, what do you call them? The
ape hangers.
Ape hangers there with their hands are in the air. You realize you got to do that to hold the reins on a giraffe.
Providing you can get on one, which I don't recommend to do. Just putting out that disclaimer.
Here's the funny part: when you stop and realize it, his back is level with the beginning of his neck, so all that neck is above you.
Yep.
And you got a bridle in his mouth, and you got reins coming down. I mean, how long are these reins? 20 feet? You know, you can sit down here. But I mean, good Lord Almighty, you're trying to steer that, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's a lot of head up there. That's a lot of neck. Holy moly!"
How long does it take them to eat something when you think about it? Because they're like chewing and chewing, and then they got to swallow, and it's got to go all the way down that long neck and into their stomach.
Oh, I know.
That could probably take 20 minutes.
But just think if he starts trying to cross the river, is he going to have me in mind? He'll be up there, and he'll be like, realizing he's like a foot and a half out of the water, go, "Oh, that dude's dead by now, isn't he?" Do they have rider awareness? I mean, I don't want him crossing a river that's above any more than the bottom of his belly, because, I mean, if he's up there waiting to cross, I can see the way. He's like, yeah, but I'll be down there drowning. I'll get picked off by a crocodile. He won't even know anything happened.
Just crawl on his neck.
Oh, yeah. It's like a periscope. I'm going with it.
That's going to take a long time for the food to get down to his stomach, though. I mean,
you're thinking of a lot of weird stuff. Oh. I'm talking about legitimate questions that people want to know, and you're like, "Oh, what a swallow, huh?" Really?
You know what weird thing that I found out about giraffes?
You realize a giraffe would never say, "I got a frog in my throat." He'd say, "I got a bunch of frogs in my throat."
Exactly. But they lay down to go to sleep, and they take their big long neck and they wrap it around and they tuck it into by their bum.
Wow, you had a hard time saying butt, didn't you? They tuck it in under their butt.
Well, by their butt.
That way they can make sure if they fart that they know first.
But you know how goofy that looks? It's like when you look at pictures of that, it's like
what are you going to do? What are you going to do with a 17-foot neck?
Well, and don't you think that that's got to be, no pun intended, a pain in the neck? Because like you're sleeping and you're literally wrapping your neck around your body and your head's by your bum.
Well, yes, that would definitely be odd.
Can you imagine if you farted really loud, you'd wake yourself up because you would hear it so loud?
Well, if you put your nose in your butt and you farted, I don't think you got to go that loud.
I'm just saying that's a twofer. The smell and the noise. Woo!
5 to 6 feet for the length of their neck.
See?
But I mean,
that's taller than me.
Well, I know. That's just the neck.
I know.
And the body's 8.5 feet long.
Oh.
So from the shoulders down is 8.5 feet. Then you're going to add 5 to 6 feet. So let's say he's a big boy. So you're looking at 14.5 feet from top of head to hoof.
Oh, we just rounded up and called it 15, and we're good.
But I mean, whoa.
Wow.
Holy moly, that's more than 2 shacks.
You can't.
That's a lot.
And how would you get the rain on them? I mean, because like his head is way up on the top, and then you got to have all that rain coming down so you can hang on to it on the back where you're sitting.
Adult males, 19.5 feet is a big one at 4,200 pounds. What a fatso.
4,200 pounds? They don't look like they would be 4,200 pounds.
19.5 feet? Come on. 19.5 feet? That's like a 7.5 foot neck.
Wow.
I mean, you can have an NBA player standing on the back of that thing and not be above his head.
That would be something to see, wouldn't it?
I mean, holy moly. So you want me to ride this thing, huh? A 4,200 pound, 7 foot neck, 19 foot horsey. Wow. How do I get? I mean, getting up, I got to put my foot on a stirrup and then lift myself up 9 feet in the air.
You better just take an elevator.
You realize that's like somebody saddling the roof of your room, the room you're in right now. Putting a saddle on the roof and going, hop up.
Yeah, no.
Like, what?
Not going to happen.
Hold on. I put a saddle on top of the door. Why don't you jump up there and get on there? And you're like, what? Come on, hop up. It's not that big a deal. You'd have to literally have one of those A-frame ladders to stand up, climb up on top of this bad boy, and then realize if you fall, just falling off the horse, just falling, will probably kill your butt.
And that's why I don't recommend it. On that note, we need to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to A Quickie with Miss B. If you missed the first half of that episode, please go back and check that out.
It was confusing.
Well, I just tried to pick something funny and random, like that's just off the wall, because like who's going to really ride a giraffe? No one.
Right, and I mean, I don't think anybody has. I've never even seen anybody ride a giraffe. Well,
or attempt it. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to go first, but if everybody else has done it, I'll give it away.
You don't want to be the first one?
Well, no. I mean, go out that window on the second floor and pull yourself down onto the saddle, okay? So it's like, it would seem you've got this all figured out. I don't want to have a bucking giraffe, so I don't want to go first, That's a long way down for a fat boy,
Can you imagine how much leather you would have to use to make some kind of saddle to wrap around?
I was worried for a second there, and I'm going, please say saddle, please say saddle. Tell me she's going to say saddle and not like coat or something stupid like that. Could you imagine what it would take to dress him like the Fonzie for Halloween?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a big saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a lot of leather.
That's a big saddle.
And then what is the part that goes around his belly? The
belt, the strap.
Strap. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That'd have to be pretty thick, pretty wide.
Okay, you're all over
and long.
You're all over the edge of that.
Whoa.
You're tiptoeing around those tulips there, girl. So, next.
Well, it would have to baby in order to hold it on there.
I understand that. That's a statement of the obvious. Can we move on now there, weirdo?
Okay, here's the next question. Would you kiss a hippo?
Well, the answer to that question, since I know about hippos, is no. Reason being, I don't think anybody has ever gotten that close to a hippo and lived. Do you know, though, that those are one of the most dangerous animals in the world?
Yeah.
And when you go to kiss him, there are some, like, foot-long teeth right there that he would be happy to punch your ticket with. And your head is a perfect hole punch. Yes, you would definitely.
They can be nasty.
Yes, you would be. The size of piercing you'd be able to use would be enormous. You'd be able to go, hey, let's get Fred Flintstone with this and just stick a whole bone in there. Why not? You got a femur? Yeah, right through this hole in my head. There we go.
And they look crabby all the time, too. Did you ever notice that? Well, they look crabby.
Well, they're
all the time.
They're in the water with a bunch of people trying to get their spot in the water, and they fight nonstop. Someone else is always trying to poke a hole in them, or there's a bunch of lions trying to wait for them to get out of the water so they can eat them. So yeah, it would tend to be a really sucky existence when you're either fighting for a piece of mud or getting eaten. So yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
But you know,
no, I don't.
You're just trying to kiss him.
No. That's. Yeah.
Can you imagine what their breath would smell like too? Ooh.
Well, I don't really think that they have like a toothbrush issue. You know, they've only got 2 teeth. You know, and they eat muddy grass from the bottom. So I mean, they're They're not meat eaters. They're grazers. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be obviously like, you know, licking the inside of a cow's mouth. So yeah, it's going to suck.
Yuck. No, thank you. I mean, really, grass.
Well, and the funny thing for me about them is you have this giant animal, right? Everything on this animal is giant except for the little 6-inch tail.
Wait a minute. They got that big butts in the back and they only have a 6-inch tail? What the?
I'm serious. It's like whipping a finger around. And the thing flutters all over the place. You're like, what's up with the tail? That's like, what? I'd be upset. I'd want to
small piece of tail for the big butt that they have.
Okay, you just told me all about a big butt and a small piece of tail. Thanks a lot for that.
Well, it is a small piece that they have for. It's not even probably like regular normal size like most animals have as far as the length of the tail because it's so short.
Wow, that was a hard one to spit out. I'm surprised you managed to pull that off.
I was trying not to like go there.
Well,
you know.
Well, really now you're going to give a no-go there for us? Today's the day you decide that going there might be wrong? Show number, like, I don't know, 580, you figure, well, let's probably not go there today. Really?
I wonder why they have such a small tail. I mean, their backsides are huge.
Wow, you are tiptoeing all around it. You are a little miss tiptoe.
No wonder why they're crabby. They're disproportioned. I mean, if I had a... Never mind. I think we better just go.
Well, I was waiting to see whether or not eventually you were going to figure something out, and you just now went, if I had... Oh. Bye.